Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight, because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country. Because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them. And because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberians. It doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because if their vote our leaders being able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est autiste-moi, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas voulu que nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a un point qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas voulu que tu m'aies bien de moi avec nous. En ce moment, on va battre au moins, néo. Mon temps d'hier est à mon moulin, on s'est battu pour moi, il pleure. Avec la locale.
Doing anything that people get amended, and with me from 2005 to date, we're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me, I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired, peacefully, and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion, and it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You understand? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on the soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say. I'm on record.
Yao, abela lokeyo, bivito jogbai, bivito noba, matisi mokeyo. Manager Gigi, ouais que jamais forcé ou, si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassen de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniche les deux.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities on the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about 14 road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we will prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talked nice about you on the radio station. Now he's stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children tuition, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Happening? Okay. Yes, I think I am audible now. Thank you. Good evening, folks. Samson to Labrador Public Radio. Please share this video, this wonderful video on Wednesday afternoon. Please share this video. We ask you to please share this video, please. We want to have as many people as possible here tonight. I think this show is going to be on a doozy here again tonight. Samson to Labrador Public Radio, most intellectual platform. That is, according to me. You don't have to believe that. But anyhow, safety, Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again for your mercy. We want to continue to ask you to bless us all. Thank you. Thank you for understanding and accepting our prayers. Thank you. Thank you for the blessing. Thank you. Thank you for the protection. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Everything. Thank you. My Lord, we ask you, the election in Liberia is on. Campaign is on. Lord, yesterday we had a tragic accident. That is not part of the violence that we've been praying for. But we ask you, my Lord, please go into those families' home. Give them comfort. Only you can provide that. We pray for the family. We pray for those brothers and sisters that got hurt in the accident. We pray that for speedy recovery. Only through your hands these things are possible. And those who came more before you now, we ask that you give them comfort at home. Accept them. They are your children. My Lord, please help us all. There are those who are struggling tonight to cope with this incident. There are those who are struggling tonight to find reason why these things happen to them. Lord, only through you that these answer, visible answer can come to them. We ask you, we pray, we beg you to please provide comfort for those family that is hurting tonight. My Lord, only you that have the power to do so. We pray for the soul of those brothers and sisters that passed. We pray for those who are in the hospital from the accident. We even pray for the leadership of the Republic of Liberia who are also feeling the pain tonight. My Lord, help us all. Help us all. We pray for the opposition. We pray for every Liberian that will be on the campaigning on this road. As bad as these roads are, they are there campaigning because this is what they want to do. Because those are the people they're hoping to lead them. We ask you to guide them, my Lord. You have the power to do it. And we're asking you, we're begging you, we're praising you, we're praying to you to use that power for the safety of all our brothers and sisters. And Lord, We ask you to bless the Republic of Liberia. Bless the leadership. Give them wisdom to do what is good for our people. Bless the opposition leadership to give them wisdom to do what is good for our people. We ask you to bless the host country of the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, folks. Please share this video. So I'm going to start very well, quickly. Those of you analysts, if you're listening, I sent the link already. So please join us, because it's important that we all come on here. So I'm going to start tonight. And yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. That's fine with me. But I'm going to start this process. A little bit more than 6 months ago, on the same platform, I was out here yelling and screaming the behavior of the opposition. I knew exactly what was going to happen. The fact that the opposition will among them some serious conflict. They have betrayed us, and I'm still saying it. I'm using that word again tonight. Betrayed the interest of the Liberian people. All of them. Opposition. The Liberians, including some sedition, were able to organize, put their trust in this opposition leadership. And through that process, Liberians, opposition, independent, even some sedition, were able to come together and hand Senator Dillon the victory in Moserado County. Moserado County, which is considered to be the backyard of CDC, and they were flocked massively. It is not because of the Senator Dillon is so powerful as a campaigner. Please, far from it. It is not because the P5 people say he's a Chinese light now. So they can't call it just light. But it was because the opposition, the people, the independent, the political party membership, sedition, everyone came together because they believe in the opposition. They believed that the opposition was going to be able to deliver. And they said, we will do our part. They told the opposition. We will do our part. You do yours. Lead us. And they came together and voted massively for the opposition. At the end, Senator Dallas Dillon became victory. He was the winner of the election. Tomofala, Honorable Tomofala, that is. They spent all that money. Running all over the country, all over the county. Senator Dillon won. Why? Because of the unity that was among the leadership of the opposition at the time. The opposition, Liberians all over, including Liberians in the diaspora, some of us, including me, pins our hope and aspiration on the handcuff of this inept opposition, this so-called swallow opposition. I say so. They leave from there to go to Ghana and eat dokun. Then they come back, they say the opposition. I say so. So fufu swallower. I say so. What kind of business is this? What kind of business is this? You have Liberian trust in you. Trust you fully. No two-way street around it. These are the people that will win us the election, they say. And we will show you, if you lead us, this is how we're going to back you. And they show you 2020 election. And immediately after that, with their selfish self, they believe that one person can win. They don't need each other. They're going to split people be for them. What come, President? We are back in another 6 years. What do you think will happen to you? Which one of you will win the election single-handedly? Which one? Which one? Which one? Even if Ambassador Baka goes second round with President Weah, you think the ANC people will go and support Ambassador Baka? Far from it. Do you think if ANC goes second round with President Weah, Unity Party? Far from it. And I think you're coming to sit there, the opposition here did that one, that one. What kind of business is this? Let's look at what happened with Bernard Ure. I haven't even read the entire story. I started reading it, then I started getting vexed. I was vexed. I was vexed. Then the people say, "Oh, if you vest, you want boss." You think that vest and boss business are on here? Eh? What kind of business is this? Eh? I sit down here every day, take the income from Alfonso Soul, calling me name, unstable, opposition. They say I'm unstable. What I tell them, I'm evolved. But he said, you're unstable opposition. They calling me names because of that. Then because of the greed for power. The greed for power. What make you think now that if a president will leave office, when you're not doing the singing amendment, you can't even put yourself together to lead us. For Christ's sake, you know the problem in our country. And now that you don't know, you know, let me speak the real total English here and I say, oh yeah, you know the problem in our country. You know very well. Corruption. Ambassador Baka is so, oh my goodness, so experienced. I thought he was going to hold this thing together. He said, we can't do that. We cannot have conflict among ourselves. Liberian people believe in us. They gave us victory 2020. Let's keep it together. They're going to court testifying against each other. And my own a young man that I truly admire. I truly admire. I still admire him. He's a smart young man. I don't know what happened. He decided to throw a bomb and went after Comey. No hesitation. Went after Comey. And that they play up the ANC will come from and come support Ambassador Baka. I don't think they hate President Weah that much. I don't think so. And even if they did, most likely to say, you know what? I will sit down home. I will sit down home. What kind of business is this? What do we have here? What is it? What is it? So you want Liberia now to gravitate to what you're knowing fully well. You ain't got 5 cents to give them. You get win. You will not win. What kind of business is this? I've been saying here from day one. Come together, stay together. Mr. Soul with ice me. So how can the big plan? I will get you crossword. That ain't business. Oh yeah, live TV. I tell you, that ain't business. He said, but Mr. Toll, I'm just ice. No, ice man, that ain't business. Everything will come together. And for months and months and months, I'm over here. Everything will come together. Every day, everything will come together. In the meantime, things were falling apart. Big time. Big time. These people are so intellectually dishonest, this opposition. I say so. They are so intellectually dishonest from day one. From day one. From day one. They put the so-called paper together that will bind them. And in the paper was, the language, if you read that paper, the paper was leaking just as safe. They said they want to put a pump that in and they strain it. That's how the paper was leaking. It couldn't hold anything because they so lie in that paper. We will do this, and when we come from here, and the voters start in 75, then we go to primary, and they want that there. Well, where all that one there now? Where all that one? I need to remind you. Your God President Weah and CDC was shaking their boots. When they got flogged 2020, they were confused. They were scattering all over the place. Month by month, when everybody couldn't shake up. They couldn't because they believed they were going to win. Month by month came out. I promise.
Well, I don't know if you say I promise, but I'll say it anyway. So why if I say I promise? I'm saying it. If Donald didn't win, I would resign. He didn't resign yet. They were scared, truly frightened of their position. And what happened when they saw the opening? First they say, okay, they want to hear you leave. Then from there you go on the side. Then the other person leave. Then the other party they were so dishonest. These political opposition leadership, they were so dishonest. It is unbelievable. Look, the whole day today, I was going through the pages of their dishonesty as far as coming together is concerned. Okay. The first thing they started stealing each other party. They started stealing each other party member. Liberty Party start splitting. Y'all tell your opposition, y'all know where the Liberian people have brought you guys from. You were nothing. 7% people. And 20-something% people during the time, George, we are flock here. Then the opposition, the Liberian people said, no. People, the way they see it going, another way we want to go. Then the king, they redeem your spirit and make you to know that with unity, Liberian people were going to stand behind y'all. But you were so dishonest with each other. They coming in into the whole thing as a stranger, as far as I'm concerned. I say so. He trusted these people. As Samson told, I will leave for him, go into Liberian politics and trust those politicians in Liberia. It's like me getting on the boat. They say, oh, yeah, the glass, they put a glass on the boat and I can see water and fish on the boat. Then I'm going to get in that boat and go ride. Me, Samson told, Kumi trusted them. And they decided to put pepper in Kumi's eyes. That's the first thing. By the time Kumi realized what the pepper has done to her eyes, it was too late. The way was done. On a very serious note. It's very peaceful. Now, don't get me wrong. President Weah is a Liberian. Whether we like it or not, he's a Liberian. And if he wins, so be it. So be it. But I will let these people know that you don't take Liberians for granted, which these opposition have done to us. That these people here are all looking for a job. Fasten, they're looking for a job. In fact, many of them, they're hoping that if any of them win, they will be. These people will be. You will see them. They'll be placed in an area that they have no experience in, no experience whatsoever. In the meantime, no role in Grand Junction County. No role Southeast Sino County, River G, Maryland, nothing. Well, Maryland a little bit better because Maryland you can come from Seaside all the way to Fishtown, Kota there. But I'm saying you put that in there. So yes, they would do something. But the opposition, they are so dishonest, and the Liberian people are saying, they've been saying to them, y'all come together. Who in Liberia? Tell me, anybody in Liberia that is voiced within Liberian politics that have not begged these people, go to bed at night and pray to God for the people to come together, because that's the only way you're going to be able to unseat President Weah. No one person will be able to unseat the president. They refuse, cursing each other. In the meantime, the suffering of Liberians continues. President Weah most likely will beat you again. Will beat you like people beating drum. I don't know which type of drum you will beat you with. Oh, okay, man, go drum. He will beat you. And you will see. I keep telling you, you think that young man, you think he's stupid? One of the smartest Liberians ever. He ain't got PhD, but you put that man, the President Weah and Amos Sawyer, then you put them in one room and say you can't talk about issue. He might be going there, but his ideas, his strategy, Man, your man, that made me very evening, man. You know, the people who sit there every day, fake stuff. They want fixing something. They want to fix it. The other one rescue it. And they want to rescue it. The other person eating it. What kind of business is this? We not see trouble with a politician. What kind of business is this? But I promise you, those of you that are watching, I promise you, Liberian, the young Liberian will redeem this country. The interesting thing before I go to bring Terry in here is this. The interesting thing, this election, the educated young Liberians will analyze this election. And from this point on, and I don't believe there will be violence, but from this point on, all of the mistakes that was made by these intellectually dishonest opposition, all of the mistakes will be analyzed piece by piece by piece. And the young Liberian politician, honest young Liberian politician, intellectual, smart, educated, young Liberian politician will come up and they will redeem us. They will redeem us. And in the name I will give the opposition at that time, Redeemer. They will redeem us. The other rescue, you can't even rescue the sheep again. I'll tell you're gonna come here and still like look at listen to the kind of comment that Bernard Ure of all people who started their letter business. Listen what he's saying about Ambassador Baka. That the plan will come from for Liberian people to trust them. Costa came in from being son of Ambassador Baka. And I know that young man regret that situation, the thing that happened. I truly believe Costa truly regret that. Because that's not his nature. Yeah, Costa come out and say blah, 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 yeah. But he's not somebody who would truly disrespect someone he considered his father. That's not him. I watch him. I got plenty of video here for Costa. In fact, I did 2-hour show on Costa one time. And I show you guys. Very respectful. So I know he regret this thing. But that's not the point. Even if Costa has misbehaved as I thought it was, it's all because people open the door. And these grown people, the most experienced people, they were unable to settle the thing. So I frustrated a little bit. Let me invent it out, and now we can support who we want to support. Because I know we're here. I'll be here again next year. While president, we are and Samuel Tua there taking $25 million mapa. They'll do another $25 million mapa. As soon as they always start when they win, as soon as they win, 18 billion gonna go missing. Y'all see it. Y'all see. And then Samuel Tua will come back to do another $25 million mapa. What y'all do to them? What y'all do to them? President, we are in 1 second. He want third turn. He can't get third turn. So that now he coming suck y'all now. That means that now he coming suck us. That now president, we are coming suck us. Because if he win a second time, he will suck us. What you do to him? Hey, what you say? Oh, we're not going to vote for you another time? Man. I don't know. I don't know. Oh. Okay, bye, mommy. You're not educated. How are you using no kind of language? Goodbye, yeah. If you're educated, you won't be saying those. You're not educated. You don't know book. Okay, I'll deal with you later. I'll come back. But anyhow, let me. Oh, okay. Terry is not here. People that want to hear about you, people tell you true. You don't let her hear true. You come in here, you think that Prophet Key show here? You want to do that? Don't. I come in. Let me put Terry on. I will come back and block you. You don't deserve to be on my show. Let me bring in Terry here. Terry, thank you for joining me. I'm really, really upset today because I read an article And in our article, the people just to us, and this is true because of the struggling among the opposition. President Weah is making headway. He goes to community and tell them what he has done and what he will do. We don't hear that from opposition because they're making proud to them with themselves. What say you, Terry? Am I wrong?
Well, yeah, you have the right to express your frustration because I sense the frustration in your voice, based upon what you read and all of that, and I know you want to see good for Liberia because you take on your busy schedule, take off your busy schedule to come and speak and talk almost every night for Liberia. So I know you have a strong passion to see your country progress. But we also have to look at from all sides because if you follow those journalists, they will corrupt your mind, and they will upset you. So I don't really pay attention to one journal or one article. I read from different articles and I follow through from different social media to really understand the real truth. Because people can be saying stuff and then talking different things. But I'm excited that you brought up something about the CPP that was supposed to hold, which really frustrated everybody, and it did not hold. All right, because I've been hearing a lot of things that people been saying, and like I was talking last night, many people say it was Honorable Boyka who destabilized the CPP. The communist people are accusing him of, being the one to destabilize the CPP, and I really don't think that was it. I really think the reason why the ANC or the CPP are really against Mr. are really focusing attention on JMB is because it's not because of what transpired in the court. Because from my perspective, I believe that it was the government that was really persecuting Mr. Cummings. Because from all indication, the Justice Minister said it. He said that Musa Din said when the case came to him, he told the Solicitor General that they never had sufficient evidence to persecute Mr. Cummings. But the Solicitor General still enforced the persecution on Mr. Cummings, which was ordered by Mr. Uri. So I believe that was again, I said from my perspective that it was a plan of the CDC because the Justice Minister saying we don't have enough evidence to prosecute this man. Solicitor General, in person of Cyrillus Cephas, went ahead and persecuted the man anyway, only to come back to the same place that the Justice Minister told him that we don't have sufficient evidence to prosecute this man. All right? And you and I know that there was a background interference. There was multiple model who highlighted certain text messages that were shared between some people, like I think Mr. Ure and Nathaniel Magay, if I'm not mistaken. And it was also, there were a lot of things that went on. That's why I keep telling people that they always like to shift the blame. But I know why, the ANC or the CPP thinks that JB is that they put all the armory on him. The reason is because Mr. Cummings rather wanted to win the primary for the CPP to be the head. All right, and I think because that was unsuccessful, that was not successful. That is the main reason why the whole attack is on JMB, and he has now become the center man that the CPP people is accusing of destabilizing or dismantling the CPP. Pap just saying last night that the man was the leader of the CPP. So he was the leader of the CPP. He had the power to tell Mr. Ure to not carry Mr. Cummings to court. He didn't have the power to do that. So, and you talked something about Mr. Ure. Mr. Ure said something. I believe Mr. told that this is a political season in Liberia. And we can't force the opposition to hold. As a matter of fact, most of these guys are already established leaders with their own vision. They have their own vision. Like Mr. Comiskey, he said he cannot settle for anything less than being the standard bearer. Why? Because Mr. Comey believes that he has a vision. And that's why I said from the previous, on the Scene Very show, on Mr. Stowe's show, I said this particular group, certain people that are in this group, if they don't fall, this particular group is going to break up. When these people don't leave this group, this particular group is going to break up. And that's what we predicted that what happened. And the reason is because all these political leaders have a vision. Mr. Ewing has a vision. So, and visions do not easily agree. Because Mr. Cummings comes from the corporate world, he got something advanced that maybe Honorable Burger does not match with. Honorable Burger has something advanced that Mr. Cummings does not match with. Likewise, Ewing. For them to really hold together, it would be very difficult. So I think they were trying to try something that did not work, and I believe that the CDC-led government was strongly behind that. To really conclude on this aspect you raised about Mr. Ewing, you know, the statement he's made, I really don't want to attribute it to blaming Honorable Burger for Mr. Ewing's statement. You know, people say Honorable Burger is not the man who have the opportunity, the man who is ungrateful, he's this, he's that. Ready to be honest with you, Ambassador Burger have whole longer relationships than the other people who accusing him. Look at Ambassador Burger's life. Look at his life of relationship. Look at his working relationship with the people that he worked with for many years. Those people are still connected to him, one way or the other. Ambassador Burger, people say he can't talk about Ellen. People say he don't talk about certain things. The man went and said what he said. He said that he did not say Mr. Ewing wanted to bring war. He said Mr. Ewing told him that, you know, they can put 15,000 men on the street. Whether if that was a lie or that was a true, Mr. Ewing came and clarified himself. He said that is not true. But then he said Ambassador Burger had dementia. Dementia means the loss of memory. You're telling the man that the man is saying something about you that is not true. But then you're also saying that the man shouldn't be talking like the way he's talking, like a slave boy, blah, blah. Then you're saying that the man has dementia because the man made a mistake. Instead of saying 176, he said 196, which was corrected before the end of the speech. But people don't look at the whole entire speech. They only took out that particular part from there and they're running with it. All right? And I did not really expect Mr. Ewing to highlight that and connect it with dementia because he is well advanced in understanding and he's educated. You know, to say the puppy got dementia, it means that the man is suffering from mental problems. All right? And, you know, when you start saying those kind of things, it makes it to look that kind of way. So the inner fight, and they are two big faces. So they're going to fight because that is politics. It started from the onset and it's going to continue. The only thing we can do is to hope that the candidates that we are supporting in this race, we support them because even the President Weah were working with Ewing. President Weah and Ewing were together before. President Weah came up and said Ewing will never be president in Liberia. Publicly, why did he say that? Is there something that he knows about Mr. Ewing that we don't know? Is there something that he knows that we don't know? That's what he said to the Ewing family. He said that Mr. Ewing can never be president in Liberia. So, you know, and not only that, Mr. Ewing also been working with other people like Ellen. He began to apologize to Ellen and all those kind of things. That I think, to me, I did not really expect Mr. Ewing to do that. I expected him to come and respond. Maybe disabuse the statement Ambassador Burger made, telling him that Mr. Burger, you lie, you're not saying the truth. He had the right to say that me and you never discussed such and such a thing. You don't have no proof, you don't have no evidence, so do not say what you say. But the aspect of saying that Ambassador Burger is suffering from dementia because he made a mistake and trying to apologize to Ellen that the man is ungrateful, the man is this, the man is that. You know, I think that was on him. I think it was something that set the stage for serious rumble and chaos that we may see coming in following days.
Yes, and this is what I'm a little bit frustrated, so to speak. And the point here is Ambassador Bakai, Honorable Cummings, and Honorable Ure, they are not little kids. They're highly educated. And in order for me to get involved with you, and it's just a matter of time before your true self show up. Human being cannot hide their true self for long. Okay.
Yeah.
So all of these months that they've been having series of meetings, do they not know that they are not compatible? So why then this is what I'm coming from. They utilize the goodwill of the Liberian people, as far as I'm concerned, to stand on that and make their own names. Make Liberians to believe that they will work together and be able to, because they're going to work together, be able to produce a good election result that many Liberians was hoping for. And here we are. Here we are in the mix of all of this. Just a few months from now, election will be happening. And you have this kinds of major disruption between Honorable Ure and Ambassador Baka. So when it's just a good thing that when people go to campaign, they do not sit with press who will want to pump them with questions on these things. This is very sad. It's very sad. And then for me, that just makes me to feel that these people are intellectually dishonest. Because if you're going to allow the Liberians, tell the Liberian, follow me, I will deliver. Follow me, I am the rescue. Follow me, I am the fixer. And you're not doing any of those things that will demonstrate to me that you have the ability to do either of those things. President, we are, despite the death of those young people yesterday, he has suspended, according to what I'm reading, he has suspended his campaign. But when he picks up the game, people are going to follow him. Because it seems like he's about the only person that actually campaigning. All the other people, they're campaigning, but the oxygen in the room is evaporating. And this is not where you want to be at this late stage of the election. Look what happened here, 2020 election. They didn't force Liberians to follow them. Liberians were not held up by, at gunpoint to follow the opposition. The Liberians decided to follow the opposition because of what they presented. They followed the opposition because they presented an alternative. And that bigger part of the alternative is the aspect of unity. They were not following them because of Kumi being handsome or Ambassador Baka is handsome. It has nothing to do with it. It's the fact that they believe that these people, if they are united, they will redeem us. If they are united, they will make young Liberians to go and work and be able to produce in our country so that people will not suffer. And because of that, and having Dallas Dillon saying exactly that through unity, I will bring light to this house. If you elect me through unity, I will do X, Y, and Z. And the many Nigerians that lives remember now, Mozzarella County is a mix-up of all of these counties. The citizens from all over Liberia lives in Mozzarella County. So those citizens that from these different counties that form themselves as big black supporters of the opposition, that we thought that these people, the smart politicians, will utilize that opportunity and identify those groups that come from the different county and are supporting the opposition in Maserati County. And ask the question, how can we get to your county so that we will be able to establish relationship with the folks in the county through you? I thought that was the kind of process that we were going to see. Instead, what did we see? We saw Musa Belete and the Liberty Party, first of all, started their Tabata stuff. That wasted a lot of time. We saw Cummings coming from the United States, going to Liberty Party headquarters without trying to settle the issue between the partisan members themselves. So perhaps, are you saying to us, Cummings, that you will be able to win with Liberty Party being a split party? And we saw Ambassador Bakar asked to be coordinated for people to raise their hand. And they were inviting Cummings, who also was supposed to be challenging Ambassador Bakar for that position. They were inviting Cummings to come and watch while they celebrate. But this is political, intellectually dishonest as its height. So when you put all of those things together, with all that was happening, Liberians were not wavering. They were behind it. Many of these young Liberians here in the diaspora as well as home, they were pinning their hopes on these opposition staying together. There was, even when I was home about 4 or 5 months ago, everywhere that we were to have a political discussion, we pray that people will hold together, man, because that's the only way. That the only way we'll be able to eat in the country. You have government officials, before they give you contract, the contract dollar amount, they want 50% of the contract dollar amount. They're not doing anything except to award you the contract. You got government officials that will come into any kinds of a construction company. They want the construction, they form their own construction company that don't even know how to do anything, but because they are involved with the government. The opposition is quite aware of all of this. In fact, one of the tapes that I always play here, Ambassador Bakar will say, you come and make the $50,000 a road project, you call it $3 million project. He says he's on tape. So he is quite aware of it. Is he telling me that him and Jeremiah, Senator Jeremiah Cohn will be able to single-handedly defeat President Weah, an incumbent President Weah? Not only that, who is also the most popular Liberian as today's day, you're going to defeat him? After trying to derail and destroy the reputation of Honorable Cummings, you think ANC going to forgive you guys and come running behind you? So this is something that many of us, because at this point, what am I going to say now? I can't run to CDC again. I was not even going to run to CDC anyway. But the point is, when we do these things, when we engage ourselves in these kinds of stuff, we're human beings like any other person. Truth is better. Come out and tell us the truth. If you have the opportunity to read that CPP document they put together that we're going to hold it together, it was leaking. And I know you, I'm not saying you now, but anybody that can read and understand that whole language, just so leakage, that language in there is so full of it, it's unbelievable.
I think it was about trust. All those people did not trust one another.
Of course not.
Yeah.
No. Let me don't say that. Let me push back on that. Cummings came in trusting them. Cummings came in believing that if he campaign hard, if they go to primary, the opposition, if they go to primary, he believed that it will be free and fair and that he will be selected.
But
not knowing that the other people, the Liberian politicians, they already have the pepper job waiting for him. The kind of pepper are waiting for him. They didn't know that one there. So when he came, they gave him Huawei. And they put paper in your eyes. So you go, I can see again. They say, oh, okay, too bad again. You just come in. Exactly. Exactly.
But Mr. Tu, you know, the problem was that the reason why I say they didn't trust, even Mr. Comer didn't trust the process, because that was the reason why they started to bring all kinds of stuff like black voting, all the kind of things start coming in because there was a lack of trust. And if you listen to Musa Belede, he said that there was a clause inserted in the altered document of the CPP that stipulated that, you know, you cannot leave the CPP. And he said that particular clause was there to protect Mr. Cummings. So if that clause was ready in the document that they all signed to and agreed to, I mean, the second version of the copy that they brought in lawyers to rectify the errors that you were talking about that was leaking. So there was, in the new CPP framework document, there was
I don't mean to cut you on now. That this thing the lawyer then came to do, and then they say, oh, come in, find out the document. Because they knew, that's what I'm saying, they were dishonest. Because they knew the new document was going to protect each of them, their interests, and be fair to each of them. But for them, that document don't got no, they want the leaking one. They don't want the ironclad document that will protect their interests. They don't want that. They want something that is leaking. And Comey is not used to those. He's not part of that. Comey, remember now, he's coming from Coca-Cola, where you don't have when document come out, a leaker disfire you. So he was not expecting it, I believe. And honestly, to be honest with you, I believe Comey went into this. If you were to put them back together now, the amount of question Comey will ask the people, they'll tell you things at the beginning, go your way, we'll go our way. Because Comey will not, he's not going to say, I don't want to be part of you, but he will question them so much so that they themselves will say, no, this kind of question, we're not in the court of ours right now. Because Comey had learned a lot. He has learned a lot. And what happened with this opposition, like I stated before, the young Liberian politicians who are not praise singers, smart young Liberian politicians who are not praise singers, they will use, after this election, they will use this process, analyze it, and believe me, Liberia will be better because of this blunder from the opposition. Because no other group will want to get together without truly finding out exactly what they want to do from the beginning. I want my people to wear red jersey. I want my other people to wear blue jersey. I want the other group to wear red and white. All of that have to be specified, agreed upon before we come together. The next group will not be this anxious. What I say, Abu Keri, Abu for you saw Abu for power, Abu Keri. You know, they're not going to do it. They will want to put things together in order and respect each other. They didn't do it in this thing. You know, Alfonso, sometimes I for his conservative behavior, I tend to push him around a lot. But from day one, he said, liberal, this year not going to work because they don't even trust each other. I said, don't worry about it. I used to tell him, I said, don't worry about it. Because I all along, I say he's not part of, or he's somewhere else. I said, don't worry about it. Whether we win or whether I have business. Yeah, I used to tell him like that. But he's been saying it from day one. How are you going to come together with all of these documents that is leaking like this? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So, but anyway, what's on your plate this evening? Let's go into your plate a little bit, then we can come back to our opening line.
The way you already now put fire in the Kuna, I don't know how we're gonna get
Terry. No, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is you bring in, that's your view, and those are my view as well. I'm not saying that whatever that I'm saying here now should be accepted and people should run away. No, these are my views. I believe
that's your view, and that is the beauty of democracy, the freedom to express your views, but others can take it out of context. You know. Actually,
I'm quite aware of it. And if people want to take it out of context, this is why I say to them, your hair ain't fading my mark, my hair ain't fading your mark. I'm a liberal. And what you do to me? Nothing. You want to take it out of context, take it out of context. You want to put it back in context, put it back in context. I don't care. I say it because this is what I believe. Terry, you can't have people to hold you hostage,
Right.
in terms of expressing your view. The only thing I say that I need to do first, before I express a view, I must believe in it, and between my God and myself, that what I'm saying, I truly believe in it. Then after that, I fear nothing else, and that's how I deal with things.
Yeah. So that is what it is. Actually, I think that we are going to a process that will be a battle, because there was a video I was looking at from 2017. You can see Mr. Ure, the way he was sitting when Joseph Yuma Boyka mounted the podium to discuss on a debate. They were all on the debate stand for 2017 election. Go and look at that video. Watch the eye Mr. Ure gave to Ambassador Boyka. You will know that these people there have been contentions, even with Honorable Bromsky the late. All right, there are so many things on social media when Honorable Bromsky said that Ambassador Boga, it was Bromsky that really said that Ambassador Boga is a troublemaker. Many people have forgotten all that because Liberians who got short memory, we're quick to forget. So these were the tensions, and they were all split. They were not people that could come together. If you watched the video and saw the debate, even Ambassador Boyka's expression was most forceful and with anger. The way he expressed himself during that debate is like he was angry. And if you look at the body language of Mr. Ure, the way he swung his eye after Ambassador Boyka got through talking, that is something to watch. But what I'm trying to tell you is that this is from all of these things that we look at and knew that the CPP was never going to work, because these guys have diversities of ideas from all over the place.
Let me push you. Let me push you on this. Let me push you on this, Terry. If you hear, you knew that. And so if you hear, you knew that, then I will also say that these people were quite aware of that they were not going to hold.
That's what I said from the previous. I said they didn't trust each other.
Yes.
That was the reason
why pretend to be united when you know you don't trust each other? How can you unite yourself when you don't have no trust? That, for me, is an intellectual dishonesty to the Liberian people. And this is unacceptable. And this is why I believe President, we are going to beat them like he beat them. Somebody beating my nigga drum. Yeah. Because President, we are with all his flood, okay? With all of his flood, if you're going to say you want to unseat somebody, but you're going to come on, and this is from day one. This is their now be truthful now, because I think I got the devil out now. We're ready to tell all the BBT. Yeah, we're going to tell all the BBT now. I also believe that these people coming in knowing fully well they're not going to hold. That's fine. But when they came together and presented themselves as an opposition, their main thing was, they're not there to tell the Liberian people vote for me. That was not their main. Many of them. That's not their message. Vote against President Weah because he has not done anything. And if you put yourself in that kind of position, instead of saying, this is what I can do, they can't do it, but I can do this, I can do, vote for me. If you don't do that, you say, this man can't do it, he already failed, you're going to vote against him. You're putting yourself in a peril. And that's exactly what we have here. They believe, and that's my opinion, they believe that the hate for President Weah will make them to win. Buddy, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Yeah, but you see, Mr. To, then we will not be fair to the opposition, because that is the politics that is going. Even President Weah, he said early not doing nothing. And President Weah never went to a single debate, but he became the president. He did not debate. He did not tell the Liberian people what he would do. The CDC ran on Ellen's failure. The same way today Joseph Boca is running on George Weah's failure. That is how the politics is played in Liberia. Liberian politics, the Liberian citizens do not look at, they don't focus deeply on the platform of the opposition that is trying to come to power. They focus on the failure of the incumbent. It is on the foundation of the failure of the incumbent that caused them to vote for the opposition. That is how elections are ran in Liberia. If you've been observing it, that is how it works. That is why most of the time, election is in Liberia is thrive on dirty politics, because everybody is focused on what this person, and that is the reason why President Weah, in my opinion, that is where I differ with you, that President Weah will beat them. I doubt that. And the reason I doubt it is because, from my view, President Weah have not performed well over the years. And it's glaring, it's clear. He has not really performed well. And if you go again and watch that video yesterday, you will see a lot of mistakes that President Weah made when he went to Bomigandi that have been highlighted all over the news. And I'm surprised that it's not, broadcasted all over the place in the newspaper and all that. But he blundered a lot. And the people did not only boo the candidate that he raised his hand, which is Maurice Ituma, in Clay or some part of Bombing. They also boo him in Tottenhamburg. They boo Maurice Ituma in Tottenhamburg, the capital city of Bombing County. All right, and President Weah was there. He was the one putting the manhunt on. The people said, we don't want this guy. That is not a good thing for him, the president. So you got to understand that President Weah have not been performing, and people in Liberia understand they're not even used to opposition oneness. It has never worked in Liberia, and I doubt that it will ever work. It might work, like you're talking about the young generation. It might work, but I doubt it for now, because Liberians have a tendency of leaders carrying and take, for example, you got 22 candidates in the race. All right, 22 candidates in small country like Liberia that have only 5 million people. And every one of them say they want to be president. Every one of them believe that they have the vision to take Liberia forward. Ask yourself, why can't all these political parties come together to be one or two? Why they can't do that? All right.
Well, they tried that already.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to say it don't work. In Liberian society, it don't work. What they were trying to do, it failed massively because of the inability for them to trust one another, because they knew that they couldn't trust one another on the foundation of each other's past records. Probably, maybe if Honorable Bromsky was alive, if Councillor Bromsky was alive, maybe it might hold. But when Councillor Bromsky died, everything fell apart. And that is where I also believe that Mr. Cummings made a serious mistake to try to go in the midst of Liberty Party when Liberty Party were already falling apart. I think that was where Mr. Cummings really started to decline from my perspective.
Okay. Let me take these colors, the two colors here. Color, the first one, 763 number. 763, last 4 digits is 7242. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
How you doing, Mr. Toll? This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
All right, Elvis. I was in Minnesota the day before yesterday.
Oh, it was okay. Yeah, Minnesota is hot right now. I think Terry is here too. The weather is really, really hot. But thank God, anyway. And hello to Terry there. Look, Mr. Toll, when some of us, the young people, when we say these things, they're taken to be, disrespectful and insulting. But those of us who have a critical mind, who has the ability to analyze these things and see it for what it is, get past the obfuscations of the people that are around this man trying to pin his character, and we get down to the nitty gritty and see who he truly is. Look,
What man now? Who
If
man? Who man you talking about?
Joseph Boyka is the topic of the discussion here today. If you leave all of your relationships and friendships and the people that you are not friends with anymore, and they come out and say terrible things about you, that says a lot about you. There are certain relationship when you leave it, the woman got nothing bad to say, but you say, "Oh, things didn't work out. It wasn't meant to be." That's it. That's the worst they can say. But when you leave relationship and people start saying all the terrible things that you were, you know that there's something wrong with you. Look, in that clause that Terry is talking about, there's one thing that they put in that clause, which I think was the main reason that the Liberty Party exited that whole collaboration. It was talking about health. This person, you have to be in good health. It's the same thing that we talk about all the time about being in good health. Wyckoff and his people didn't like that because the news was starting to leak that he wasn't in good health, and we saw evidence of it when he had to be rushed to the AW hospital. Even his demeanor, we know that he's not in great health, and that was one of the things that was in that document. And people tend to gloss over it. We know that Cummings, for all his shortcomings, is in impeccable health. He's in excellent health. Health. The man look like they can call him the police. Small man, but he's well. He's fit. He's in good shape for his age. Waka couldn't compete with that on the health level. But second of all, ungratefulness and user, people who are users, they use it, like it's like an orange. You squeeze the orange when you see no juice, you drop it on the ground. People who can suck orange, they suck the blood out of you. When there's nothing left, they dash you by the wayside and they keep going. When we say these things, it's not being disrespectful. It may be sounding some kind of way, but we're speaking in terms of politics. If Joseph Brother was my grandfather or my friend's grandfather, I won't say anything about himself, anything bad about him. But he's a man who's running to be president of our entire country, who has the life and the interest of our entire nation at stake. So when we're looking at his health, it's not being disrespectful. It's about national interest. So when Bernard Ure came out a couple of days ago and said what he said, Bernard Ure is not a paragon of morality that we should listen to everything he says as a gospel truth. But these are things that we know or we knew about Joseph Boycott, and these are things that Bernard Ure knew about Joseph Boycott himself. But he was hoping to ride Joseph Boycott's coattails to get to some level of comfort that perhaps he's not enjoying with the CDC government. So we know that. But everything that Bernard Ure said was true. A broken clock can be, right twice a day. Even though his character is tainted, but some of the things that he said was true. Joseph Boyka is a backstabber. He was backstabbing Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to people that Bernard Ure, like a gossiper, telling, oh, the woman is vindictive, she's evil, she's wicked, telling all these stories about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to the people he was in collaboration with. We who knew about Joseph Boyka being a politician before Ellen Johnson picked him in 2005 from obscurity. She picked him and she made him vice president. Catapulted him to the
you see, Evan. In as much as I'm very with the opposition right now, but when you come out and make that kind of statement, 1 minute y'all say the man came from obscurity, they brought him up. Another minute y'all say the man being politics for 40 some more year. What one you would take now? What one would want now?
I'm not one of no. It's a distinction, Mr. Tool. Being in government service, serving in the government, and being a politician is two different things. Joseph Boyka had never won a public office prior to 2005. I think we can all agree upon that. He's never even ran for a public office or elected office in Nigeria. He's been a bureaucrat. Being a bureaucrat and being a politician.
That now you see that now you see that now you're ready to distinguish now that now you call him bureaucrat. But most of the time when you come out here, they may pay him up, he paying political life for 40 some more year. He ain't doing nothing. That you see this. But anyway, I just want to point that out.
Other people will say that, but not me, Mr. Tool.
But they also all of y'all see this here. I put all of y'all in one club. That's it. Go ahead.
Lastly, before I get off the line, the last thing that Terry mentioned about Charles Brumsky. Look, politics is not always about who has the best policy positions. It's not always about who's the smartest. Because when it comes to who was the smartest, who was the most well-versed, it was Charles Walker Brumsky. I think anybody can attest. He was a brilliant, brilliant man. But he could never break the threshold of Grand Bassa and maybe Mike Gibby and real estate. Could never break the threshold because He wasn't well liked. In many people's eyes, quote unquote, he wasn't well known. And also, he had some association with Charles Taylor, which tainted him. But when Terry is talking about if Charles Bronson would have been alive, maybe the coalition would have helped. No way. You heard what Charles Bronson said about Joseph Boyka. He's a divisive, a tribalistic man who feels like only one group of people, the quote unquote native people, who I'm a part of that stock, should have power in Liberia. And it's not. It shouldn't be that way. Ben Ayure echoed the same sentiment, a couple of days ago.
Okay.
And we in the CDC camp, we say the same thing, not because we're trying to smear this old man, but because he's shown characteristic of being a tribalist. That's why we put that label on him.
All right.
So things that we all know are things that his own ally or former ally has been echoing, and we must take it for a fact. Maya Angelou said, when people show you who they are the first time, believe them, and we believe Joseph Boyka for who he is. Thank you, Mr. Tool, for taking
Thank
my call.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me go to Ambrose. Ambrose, good evening. Are you there, Ambrose?
Yeah, Mr. Cho.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
evening.
Mr. Cho, how you been?
Not bad, not bad.
How
Go
you
ahead.
doing,
What's on your mind?
Terry, how you doing?
Yeah.
It's so many of these said, I don't know which one to choose. Well, Mr. Cho, the elephant in the room, we need to address the elephant in the room. Mr. Cho, let me ask you a quick question. So I can go to my issue I want to discuss. If somebody in total said horrible things about you 2 years ago, will you be associating yourself with that person? Say mean stuff or bad mouth you, associating yourself with them?
They do that all the time. In total, they say. In fact, they say I'm not Grangians anymore. I'm not even a Liberian anymore. So I deal with that every time.
Okay. Well, this is the thing though. We all never knew Prince Johnson was going to be president. Prince Johnson was the waiting president if Joseph Boyka win. But we never knew that this was said 2 years ago, or this had been said 2 years ago, waiting. Because look, this is what Joseph Jeremiah said on that tape. You can say it was done 2 years ago. That's what damages on it. For him to still have the opportunity to be around Joseph Boyka, or for all to be saying that Joseph Boyka will win president, they wanted to kill him. Because if you listen to, have you listened to the tape?
Yeah. You mean the vice presidential candidate tape against Ambassador Boyka, where he said 2023 he should sit down and go rest?
Yes. And insulted him. But he came around and go and get this gentleman money to see. Because he have already done his calculation. When the old man win, they will try by all means to kill him, and he can automatically become president because it's selling in Lima County. They said this is the best chance.
Are you saying, Ambrose, that Nima people are so greedy for power they will kill Ambassador Boyka because they want to have the presidency?
Trust me, because you don't.
No, I don't. Nima can only do. Nima people will only fight war when they're back against the war. And if you push them, if you put, but I'm just saying from what I know, I grew up in Bapa, by the way. From what I know, Nima people, when you push them against the wall, you will get something back. But for you to say here to think that because they want to be president, by all means, they will try to do something to Ambassador Boyka. No, I don't agree with it. But those are your view. I don't agree with it.
That's not the public radio view. That's my view.
Yeah.
They're saying in Lima, Canada, this is the best opportunity they have to be for somebody from Lima, Canada to be president. Because the calculation, they have already done the calculus, or they have done their math. Joseph Boyka may likely be 2 years to his visible. In the rest, you will have a de facto president who will be Prince Johnson.
Okay.
Because how you can criticize somebody to that point, say you imagine the father of the thing is about that for him. So we expect the old man to be gone. And to Collins, I admire you, but you gotta be honest because you discredited this platform. because you don't have the audacity to speak to power. Because I'm not trying to personally attack you. I don't know you that well. I'm not trying to personally. We're going to discuss in Liberia because you only attack just here, but everything that just about to go on its own captive photo. You can't speak for only 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes, and that's the first thing you want for us to be the next person for Liberia.
But Ambrose, because Terry want you to vote for Ambassador Baka, what that have to do with his ability to analyze?
He don't be objective.
Oh, but he allowed on LPR, he allowed to be subjective sometimes.
Don't do that.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you also have to, like, on a very serious note, the same way we respect your view and not trying to characterize your view. I think we should all do the same for each other. Those are his views. He's entitled to it. But for now to diminish his view by saying that he does not have the ability to analyze, then I think you're not doing us a favor.
I apologize to
okay.
Terry.
All
I
right.
apologize to you.
All right.
I apologize to you.
Okay.
I
That's
never
fine.
meant to be personal with you.
Okay.
The problem, I like your passion for the former VP, and we should, be on target, should defend it. But my problem, I can tell you, I don't like Doria. I don't want Doria to be president for Liberia. But we gotta be truthful. That's the problem people have with us in Liberia. When they get on the radio and we say things then that is far from the truth, or we end up defending our people that do wrong, and we expect them to change. We don't change. We can never change the process. You and I, all of you are right now live in America. What the Americans said, if that was in America, he will have a leg to stand on. The test to eat your feet.
Okay. All right.
You know that, what I'm saying wrong? What I said was exactly.
No. Those are your views. You're entitled to them. What you're not entitled to is the facts. But those are your views. You're entitled to them, and you have the right to express them freely.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Cole.
Yeah.
You agree with me? If somebody says that type of things about a political candidate or his parent, that will not be something that will go down well with a lot of people.
I understand that, but I understand that. But do you also believe that people can change? What are you laughing about now?
I believe that people can repent.
No. You see, there are two different. I said no. Let me. You see how smart you are. I said change, then you say repent. I said the man repent. I said, do you believe people can change?
Yeah, Mr. Toh, you see, you are mathematician, and if you call
you will not accept change. You rather me use the man will repent.
The director you call it, director you see. This is a well calculated play.
Okay.
What will you use to play on the football field?
I start with number 2, and I end up with both 11, 10, and 9.
Yeah. So you be a number 9 player, you make your move, and you do a calculation how you want to receive the ball and how you want the pass to be given to you. And this is a calculation that people have made. Jeremiah Kuhn, I don't have anything with him. I don't have anything, like I said, my mom is from Nima County. I don't have anything personal against. But I just agree the fact, the way they want to go about the shortcut they want to take to the presidency. That's the only problem I have with them.
Okay.
And so let's go back to the issue. The CPP, when we won all this election, it was Mr. Cummings. And Mr. Cummings was not demanding to be the Senate bearer. What all Mr. Cummings said was, if the process is free and fair, and he loses, he will accept it. But telling people then how their plan B and the new what exactly
you coming to Gaza here now? What you must selling people then? Who is selling people then? You call coming in, but you're not calling other people in. Huh?
Just like Human Baka.
Okay.
Ben
so they are not selling people now. They got name.
Yeah, okay, they had it.
Okay.
And just imagine when they went to the court, when the former vice president went to the court, he sat in the car until Benya came to him and consulted with him, and before he could get out of the car. So that would be a confidential. That was somebody that he trusted then.
Okay.
So how you can sit on information for almost 5 years, say, when we won the election, they may have people at Rayland, Omega Market, or they have almost 15,000 people waiting at Omega Market. Why you sit on that information for 5 years?
Okay.
When it's because that you and he got a loggerhead, and you want to let the country be aware of that.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Ambrose. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah, but Terry, I apologize. I've never tried to be personal with you. It's just, I believe we should be objective and
No. I think Terry is just like me. Once you put yourself in these kinds of public engagement, public gathering, you expect people to say things that perhaps might not be favorable to you from time to time. So Terry is a grown man; he can handle it. But I'm just saying that when we come out here, let us always maintain that respectabilities that exists among us. Because while we come out here and spend 2 hours with you guys having a conversation every day, you call in, so you're pretty much part of us now. So let us just try to respect each other view without calling them. And you're an educated person. You know the type of words you can use, and that most likely will still convey the kinds of message you want to put out there. So, but anyway, thank you, Amber. I appreciate it.
No, I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize about my volume was full. So my choice of words were full. Okay. And I apologize to you.
Thank you. That's all we do here, man. Thank you. Okay, folks. Again, this is Ladro Public Radio, Samson Tour this afternoon. I'm here with another young man. Terry is here with us as well. Terry, I think we're just gonna have to spend another 5 minutes or so and call it quit for the evening. But what do you make of the color one from the usual color Ambrose and also Evans over there in Minnesota? What do you make? Evans is a sedition, so he's taking the CDC line and to pound more on Ambassador Buckeye, and I have to push back a little bit, but I guess what do you make of it? You're muted.
The problem with Evans is he don't know Ambassador Walker. So these are people who don't know somebody and they talk about them. And you talk about how, Ambassador Walker is a selfish man. Or when somebody says something about you, you should believe it. So that means all the things they say about President we should believe it. Should we believe all the things that we have heard about President Weah? That he never went to school, that other people did his school work for him. Should we believe those things too? That President Weah degree that he got he didn't really get it the right way. So, not because people say something about you, that makes it true. So this is the reason why people just base their decision on gossip. Liberians are good for that. They can damage the life of somebody just on gossip. That's something that they collected that they didn't validate. They just took it and run with it.
But let me push back. Let me push back on that for Evans. Evans been calling here, and Evans from I never met him before, but from the engagement, I want to believe that he's not. It doesn't seem to be, and I could be wrong, but for me, it doesn't seem to be the type of person who will base his conversation on rumors and innuendos. I just don't see it in him. I think we might not agree with him, but I think he seemed to be intelligent enough that when he comes out here to make public statement, I'm sure that perhaps some of those we might not agree with, but I'm sure he most likely have done his own work and vetted some of those information. So, but go ahead, make a point. I just want to take my own view in that.
He's not speaking from facts because facts have to do with proof. He has no proof that Ambassador Walker is dishonest, he's not to be trusted, blah, blah, blah. And you see, let me tell you something about the flip-flomantic temperament. That is one of the reasons why I support Honorable Walker, and I have no relent. Somebody served, this man served Ellen for 12 years. We never heard anything from him concerning denigrating Ellen until today. When he said that thing on the show day before yesterday, people highlighted it as a means of denigrating Ellen. The man didn't say anything bad. He said he made a recommendation to Ellen. It left with Ellen to take it or not. Probably at that time, Ellen was not prepared to see it as something optional for her government. It was not in a denigrating form. But again, Liberians have a way of turning, twisting propaganda around.
Yeah, hold on.
I just want to learn my thought.
Yeah, please. Okay, go ahead.
Liberians have a tendency of twisting propaganda around because they want to get Ellen to come out to respond. They have the God given to come out to respond, so that they can run with it on Facebook as a propaganda machinery against JMB. And most of the people that are doing these things, they are from the other side. You already know. So and a flip-flamante, temperamental person is very loyal. Let me tell you two strengths about flip-flamante people. They are very loyal people. When they say they agree to be with you, they will be with you for 20 years. They with you. They don't easily betray people. That's number one. Number two, when they make decisions, when they take decisions, strategic decisions, that decision always use a serious strength and it becomes prosperous. When Ambassador Walker made that decision to take Jeremiah Kuhn, I was very shocked because I believe he calculated very well the vote-rich county, Nima County, and Monserrado County, and even to get Jeremiah Kuhn to be convinced to him, I was also shocked. Then I talk about how what he said. He said people said that JMB, something he said, I think it was Ambrose or so, we're talking, Ambrose was just saying something just now about how he said something, okay, Jeremiah Kuhn said something about JMB in studio, that JMB, JMB, did JMB, that.
Yeah, that was about 7 years or so ago.
Yeah, Hillary and Obama had clashes. There were people in America here, politics, in the party, they had clashes, they broke apart. They stay fixing. What about Eugene Nangwe? Who said that he the one did President Weah assignments and that President Weah was not fit for the presidency? Today, who is president? President Weah. Who is President Weah campaign I'm the campaign chair? And Eugene Nangwe? President Weah look at Eugene Nangwe getting job. You know the things that Eugene Nangwe said about President Weah? Did you ever thought in your mind that President Weah could have used Eugene Nangwe today? We never thought that would happen. So if this man or said or what his name in the Bible biblically, or what his name, or Peter said that Jesus, I never knew him. They asked him, do you know this man? He said he don't know the man. He never knew him. But did Jesus abandon him? After Jesus resurrected, Jesus went and picked him up from the dust and brought him back. So people can slip, people can say things. This is politics. Nobody is loyal to you to the death. Somebody can be with you today and tell you, say, my man, I'm not with you tomorrow. You're not correct. And later on, they reconsider the mistake and come out and say, oh, I sat with a man and I listened to him. I used to say something about him, but I realized that the things that I said about him, it was because I really did not know him. So today, the same Jeremiah who said those things is now carrying the mission to tell you, say, this man is not the person I thought he was. Then you say, no, you will stick to the one that he said 7 or 8 years ago. Then it means you are not a rational person. You're not thinking like a real human being. Because everybody made mistakes. Everybody say things when they don't know people very well. Until you get to know the person now, then the narrative change. You talk about Mr. Ure, did Mr. Ure start play by play? Wherein that prove to us or that will convince us that Ambassador Boga is ungrateful, he used people and all of that. Can Mr. Ure tell us how Ambassador Boga used him? Can he tell us that? So should we base our accusation to agree with Mr. Ure on the basis of what Mr. Ure said with all evidence? Is that how we should do it? then I will tell you, say, I will disagree with that. So if Mr. Yue can come out to give us play-by-play evidence to prove that maybe Ambassador Boga outplayed him or did something contrary, because from the onset of all of these discussions, you and I know that Mr. Yue said clearly that he never wanted anything in his power. He never wanted nothing. He only wanted to see Liberia going forward. That was the position. So for him to come on lately now to say on the contrary, then it leads the Liberian people in oblivion to think that what really happened between the both of you. That is all. What really happened? We may not know, and we may never know. But I will not say to myself that I will never support Ambassador Boga again, because Mr. Yure or somebody came and said Ambassador Boga is a user, Ambassador Boga is ungrateful, Ambassador Boga is that. If you say these things, give us the evidence, give us information, because what you say is not sufficient. Tell us how it happened. Tell us on what ground you decided to make your conclusion that this man is a user or this man is not correct, he corrupt, he did. Show us evidence, give us information, give us witnesses, sources that we can depend on to validate our claim, so that tomorrow we'll say, yeah, we're not supporting Ambassador Boga because we are sure that Ambassador Boga is a user and he's not correct. Give us evidence. Because the last time I checked, the person Ambassador Boga worked with for 12 years, which is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, has said nothing. Has said nothing. She's the only one that can break the tie to come out and tell us, say, yes, the reason why I'm not supporting the man is because he did this, he did that, he did the other, and these are my witnesses. That is how rational people base the analogy and the decision on facts. Not just because somebody come and say, oh, the man stole, or the man did something. Show us evidence. What the proof you get that the man is not correct? Why? Why should we not support this man? Tell us why. Give us concrete reason why. And that is all we need. And I'm telling you, if these guys can give me concrete reason to not support this man, convincing evidence that this man is truly a user, he betrayer, he did, he died, the other, I myself will publicly denounce my support for Ambassador Boga. That is my position. Because even the very president we are, there are lots and lots of things we have heard about him. Should we believe everything? Should we believe it? All the things that they have said about President Weah, should we believe it? Anybody ever thought that what President Weah said it the last time? He said, plenty of people thought that I couldn't be president because they say that I'm a football player. They didn't know that I also have intellect. But they denigrated me. They said a lot of things. They said I was foolish, I'm dumb, I don't get sense. But today I am the president. So should we believe them? Do we believe any news because people are saying it? No. Let us believe the facts. When they come with information, tell them, say, produce the facts. Tell me more. I want to know more to the story that will convince me to say, yes, I'm not supporting the man because of XYZ witnesses and proving evidence.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you made my day. In as much as I was a little bit shaky earlier, I think you have put me back onto my feet. You have grounded me again. I appreciate that. But what I was going to say earlier was when Ambassador Barker said all he did was give an advice to the president, to former president. It's still in the Constitution as if that was one of his responsibilities to assist. Is to assist the president, and I think he was assisting the president. So all the people that make all that CDC big mouth that they don't bother me a bit. They don't bother me. But let me say this here as well. Okay, let me take. I'm done. Anyway, let me take this caller. Samson told LeBron Public, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind? Hello.
Hello, how you doing, Mr. Toll?
Oh, thank you. We're closing, but go ahead, make a point, very brief. That is, if that's what you're calling for.
Yes, thank you for providing me that opportunity to just say and share something that on my mind.
Please.
I've been listening to you guys in studio with a young man over there. That young man is saying the truth. The truth. Our native people have certain proverbs. Even all our tribal people say, if you are not present where the child will take shower or where the will take shower, in your presence, that person will come rub their cream on. And if the person know how to rub that cream, you will know as to whether that person is a clean person. What am I trying to say? Joseph Boakai and Benina Ure.
Go ahead. Are you there?
So
can you hold on 1 minute? Let me merge this caller, please. Can you hold on?
Okay.
My phone is it's like okay. All right. So where's this? Okay. Are you still there? Okay. Jesus. Elvie, are you there? Hello? Okay, everybody's gone. All right. Okay. They want they will call me back because I don't know what happened here. But anyway, Terry, hold on, Terry. Let me get this guy. Okay. Sorry about that. I was trying to merge this other caller and everything just went. But go ahead, make a point, finish it so I can bring them in as well.
Yeah. So in short, what I was saying is that Costa, and Benina Ure. Okay, they were on board with Joseph Boakai. There are a lot of information that came out taking Boakai to Ghana, having a meeting. The old man ran away from them, talking about 30 million and all these things. If this man was a distressed man, he could have taken such an offer. Okay? So if somebody broke away and had to tarnish the man's reputation because you know that this guy is gaining momentum to be the next leader, people are gravitating towards his president, and somebody coming to go be seeing other stuff. It just shows a big picture that hey, these people are in it for themselves. They are not in it for Liberian people. More especially, I would say Benina, he been in the political scene for a long period of time. It's all about them. It's just all about them. It's not about Liberian people. So people should get to know this. It is not about Liberian people. They're just there for themselves. And if you try to link Costa with Benina Ure, they are related. But according to Roman, who knows? Okay. So that is the thing.
All right.
I land on that. Thank you for providing me that opportunity to wait.
Thank you. Please don't hesitate to call back later when we come back again tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Evans, you were calling earlier, but we got 5 more minutes, so give us a call. Okay, Evans, go ahead. What's going on?
Yeah, I just wanted to push back on what Terry was saying. Okay. When I made my statement, when I said when people show you who they are the first time you meet them, I was quoting from Maya Angelou, the poet. So when I'm talking about Joseph Boakai showing himself to us, that's exactly who he is. And when he's talking about Jeremiah Kuhn, they didn't know Joseph Boakai before, but now he knows Boakai, and thereby, he's changed or he's changed his viewpoint. Look, anybody would change when you got a vice presidential office in front of you, and potentially the presidency sitting in front of you. That person can cross your mind, cross your body. You'll be sitting down there, yes sir. So let's not try to make it seem like it was an ideological realization that Jeremiah Kuhn came to. The reality is
Sedition. They always find
yes,
way. Go ahead.
the political office that is being dangled in front of him is the reason why he quote unquote reconciled with Joseph Boyka. Not
Okay.
because he has some epiphany that Joseph Boyka is this great man. He just never knew him. He campaigned for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He was in the Unity Party. He know who Joseph Boyka is, and he said those things about Joseph Boyka. So let us not sugarcoat anything.
All right.
And when Terry is trying to say, Mr. So one day you should invite me on the show, maybe on the weekend when I'm not working, I can come on the show and spar with Terry a little bit, because I think the guy led to twist people's words when saying things I didn't say, or maybe you didn't pay attention to what I was saying. But thank you for taking my call to clarify those statements. Thank you.
Thank you. Terry, he want me to invite him so you and he can have an engagement. But no, give us your closing here now, 1 or 2 minute closing, Terry, so that I can get out.
Yeah, Mr. To, thank you again for the show. I know you were downhearted when you came in. I saw your frustration. But let us hold and hope for a better Liberia. For me, I'm not against we or ourselves. Like I said, I'm independent. I can change anytime. If you give me evidence clearly to prove that Ambassador Boyka is not who he says he is, I myself will openly recall myself from following him. That is why I'm independent. I'm not part of any political party. I'm not, maybe I will be part in the future, but I have not decided yet for on the same reason, because of the way I see politics in Liberia that I don't like at all. That is the reason why I chose not to be part of any political party, because I don't like the way how politics run in Liberia. So with that being said, I still believe in Ambassador Boyka, and I'm not going to change now from supporting him because people are saying stuff like Amber came up. It's almost like you contradicting yourself, my brother, because you're saying that the man decided to take Ambassador Boyka because he's giving the VP. With a man who claimed that this old man is not capable enough to run the country, all right, will begin to sacrifice the country that he claimed he loved to go as running mate to a man he claimed is gone and is not capable to run the country. You think Jeremiah Kuhn, an astute statesman that has served his people in Nema for several years, will decide to forgo his patriotism for his country because he's following, he want to be VP to a man he knows is not fit for the job? I would say that is a very lame duck or projection, my brother. I'm sorry to say that you are totally in the wrong. What I want to say to you tonight is Ambassador Boyka is strong and ready. He talked about how Ambassador Boyka was speaking for full minute, and the other guy said Ambassador Boyka spoke for. The man came to America, he couldn't sit down from one state to the other, standing in one place and speaking for hours. Then you still say the man is not capable. So I don't understand. The man went to Truth FM. From Truth FM the same day, he went to District 11 and District 12. He spoke in different forums. Then you still telling us that the old man here, so your propaganda is not working because we can visually see that the puppet is strong and ready. So you need to find a different channel. So I'm still waiting. I end on this to say that I'm still waiting for somebody to convince me that the integrity icon is not who he say he is, and the guy who I know from my observation, knowing very well, who analyzed temperaments, all right? Knowing very well that a flip-flamatic character that I've observed in Ambassador Boyka is a loyal man. I'm waiting for you to convince me that he is a betrayer. Until then, I still support the tree. Thank you very much, Mr. Todd.
Thank you, Terry, and we'll say thank you very much. We appreciate it. I think that's one of the things I like about you. You don't rush, take your time, but very effective in replying. And I think I not run away from you. He come and say I want that. He come by. I'm making you invest. I say tomorrow you will show up.
I know you will call. He's beating me soon.
You will call.
He will come for me soon.
I think Sedition are now doing tag thing on you. I now leave now that Ever is coming now with.
Don't worry, I will soon run away from your show. They will not see me soon. For long, because I'm going to be busy soon. So,
Yeah.
I will not be
But
up.
even if you're busy, you're gonna have the fun time to be with us. We hope so. But anyway, no, thank you very much for continuing contribution on LPR. We appreciate it. Thank you, and we say good night to you. Let's meet again tomorrow and do the same thing. Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Again, folks, Samson told LeBron Public Radio. We're out of time here. So that will be the end of the show tonight. I don't even need to repeat anything. Terry has said it all. Folks, that's what I have. This young man here that really admire him. He comes in and close the door. And close the door on CDC. They want to talk? They don't tell you can convince me, please. Don't come here with no evidence. Can't tell blah blah tell you Tabata sedition, Tabata. Don't come bring it out. He said, if you got anything to show me proof, you show me proof, I will come and join you. But you show me proof, then please let it stay. You got nothing to offer, he said. Folks, Samson Toe. I love myself, folks. When I do these things, I love it. I love it. Samson Toe, folks. On a very serious note, I want to thank all of you again tonight for joining us and having a conversation with us. Please, let's continue to pray for that country, the Republic of Liberia. It's the only country we know. Let us also continue to pray for one another. And we will have the opportunity, God can continue to give us the opportunity to be here to insult. Because there's a guy that was insulting earlier, but it doesn't matter to me. I know who I am. You can say whatever you want to say. Don't move me a bit. But let's meet. Okay, he's ready. Okay, so let's meet again tomorrow and do the same thing. With that, I will say thank you very much and good night, folks. It's been a wonderful, wonderful day.